So, what do we hear more about today than immigration? Immigration, immigration, immigration. Why? Because of the housing crisis, because of the healthcare pressure. We just hear a ton about it. Immigration is in all the newspapers, all the TV shows, all the time. That's reality. It's constantly discussed. Here's why. Canada is dedicated to bringing in about 1 million new people into the country per year. Now, let's get this way out in the open and get it so clear. I am pro-immigration. I'm pro-immigration for a lot of reasons. Quickly, we have a demographic crisis that's going to happen. Old farts like me are going to need young people to work to support our pensions and to support our health care. It's just necessary. We have an aging population. So when we bring in, the majority of young people are immigrants. They're coming here as young people. The old wives' tale that we're importing older people into this country is completely false. It's prime working age people, and our stats are terrific. The number of new immigrants who go directly into the workforce is extremely high. Labor participation is extremely high, higher than most all other countries in the world. So we're doing technically a great job on it. Another reason I support immigration, they work hard. The average immigrants I know of and see constantly and been exposed to, because the kind of business I'm in, that we're dealing with the public daily. New people are coming to get a mortgage daily. They're hard workers. They're working. Again, I say this endlessly. Finally, we're all immigrants. We're all immigrants, like essentially, other than the First Nations people who still came here 23,000 years ago. Yeah, they were first by a long shot, okay? But frankly, almost everybody else in this country is an immigrant anyway. Like my grandparents came from somewhere else. I mean, on and on and on. It's ridiculous in a country based on immigrants that we should say, yeah, no more. That's crazy. But what we have to discuss rationally is the level of immigration. I'm a very lucky person. I get to talk to a lot of very smart people on an ongoing basis. Occasionally I get to meet with people from outside our country who are involved in financial analysis and who do a lot of work on studying how Canadian stocks move, and a lot of that has to do with real estate and banks. So I'm lucky that I get in on some of those conversations occasionally. And most recently, I was fortunate to meet with 2 investment people from New York. And as things progressed, I just asked them. I said, well, we bring a lot of people into Canada every year. And what would happen if the same sort of level of numbers of people came into the United States every year? And he said, well, we have a lot of illegal immigration. I said, well, I know you have illegal immigration. I'm talking legal immigration. I'm talking people who are going to come and stay in the United States. Because based on our level of 1 million people a year, in the United States, that would be about 8.7 million people a year. I said, what do you feel about 8.7 million immigrants coming to the United States every year for multiple years? Like not just for 1 year, for the duration, for years to come. Well, I got to tell you, the look of shock and horror on these 2 people's faces was like amazing. Like they just couldn't even grasp it. Like they said, well, we can't even dream of that happening. We can't even conceive of it. First of all, they'll all only come to about 6 states, and it would overwhelm all our systems. And I said, whoa, guys, it was just a hypothetical. But it's very interesting that in other countries of the world, this level of immigration can't even be discussed. It's not even open for question. France had only 320,000 new immigrants last year. If they were bringing people in at the same rate we do, they would bring in, well over 1 million, like far more than that. So only 320,000. Great Britain had one of their biggest years for immigration last year. Very, very big. 600,000 people came into the United Kingdom last year, into Britain last year. And the prime minister lost his mind. He said, we got to stop this. We just can't go on. It's too much. We can't handle it. It's impossible. 600,000 people is impossible. That's a country of over 67 million people. France is over 65 million. And they This idea for Britain is amazing, that the prime minister would say it must stop. It cannot continue. We cannot handle it. Our healthcare system can't manage it. All of our systems can't manage it. Our social safety network can't manage it. We can't do it. 1 million people are coming to Canada this year, and over a million came last year. We sort of lost count of some. There might be 1 million extra running around somewhere, but 1 million came last year. 1 million come this year. By all evidence, there will probably be 1 million new people come here next year, and that's the plan. Now, my point is simply this. I talk to people every day. I talk to recent immigrants every day. I talk to people who've come to this country in the last 10 years buying homes, looking for mortgages. And they tell me that it's out of control. They tell me that it's having bad results for everybody, bad results particularly for the new immigrants, for the people who are coming here, that the houses are unaffordable, the rents are unmanageable, and the healthcare system's under stress. It's all not good. So as much as I believe in immigration, I would be happy to see continued immigration in this country. I'm never even going to dream of saying there should be less immigration. But maybe this 1 million person stuff needs to be carefully thought about. It might just need an adjustment.